I am so honored and so grateful to be here. And as I was flying down, I was reflecting on all the history that SCLC represents. And I was particularly, because this is the Ladies Award celebration, I in particular wanted to reflect on the role of women in the movement. Because sometimes the men were good at getting up front and being in front of the microphone. But as my wife reminds me, it was the women who did all the work. They didn't always get the credit, but they did all the work. They were in the churches organizing. They were not only making phone calls and knocking on doors, but they were also at the same time taking after children and cooking the meals for the volunteers and cleaning up after the men when they had made a mess, which still goes on in my house. And sometimes when you think about all that was done, you have to ask yourself, how was it that these women didn't get as tired as I would have gotten? And why didn't they give up? And I remember reading about Dr. King talking to Sister Polly, who was in her 70s at the time, and he asked her if she'd like to ride during the Montgomery bus boycott. And she said, my feet is tired, but my soul is resting. My feet is tired, but my soul is resting. It was Fannie Lou Hamer. She was tired too, but she said she was sick and tired of being sick and tired.
No, that's right.
And then somebody asked Rosa Parks about being tired.
Okay.
Was that why she sat down? And helped to catalyze a movement, and she said, the only tired I was tired of giving in. So there's a theme there. People sometimes don't understand. Women did get tired in the heat of the moment, in the height of the movement. But even though their bodies were tired, they kept on going. Because more than being physically tired, they were tired of injustice. They were tired of cruelty. They were tired of poverty. They were tired of Jim Crow. Most of all, I suspect they were tired of seeing their children blocked from opportunity. Their grandchildren suffering from the cloud of discrimination and prejudice. There's something about a woman when she sees her children mistreated and locked out of opportunity that keeps her going, even when she has every right to be tired. And so the question is, what are we going to do, even if we're tired, to transform America? Because, as all of you know, the work is not yet done. I've been traveling all across the country over the last 5 months since I announced that I was running for president. And we've been having these enormous rallies everywhere we go. We had 20,000 people in Austin, Texas, 15,000 people in Oakland, California. We had 20,000 people right here in Atlanta, Georgia, on the campus of Georgia Tech University. And people asked me, they said, what do you think accounts for these enormous crowds? And like any good politician, I'd love to say that it's all about me. You know, it's because I'm just so fabulous that everybody's turning out. But my wife says that's not true. The reason people are coming out is because people are hungry for change in America.
Yes, yes, yes.
People are anxious to turn the page. They are fed up and have had enough with a government that says it can't do or won't even try to do something about the inequities and injustices in our midst. You all know what's going on out here. You see it every day. You live it every day. You know what they're tired of. We're tired of a healthcare system that's broken, that's bankrupting families and communities. We've got 46 million people uninsured in this country, the wealthiest country on earth. If we're the wealthiest country on earth, we should be the healthiest country on earth. But the problem is that all that money is going to insurance companies and drug companies instead of going to give patients care and making sure that children are getting regular checkups instead of having to go to the emergency room for treatable illnesses like asthma. We're all tired of that. We want something new. We want to turn the page. People want to turn the page on an education system that is broken. I bet we got some teachers in this room. And the teachers will tell you that they left the money behind for No Child Left Behind. It's a nice slogan, but the reality is that we are still seeing schools that are underfunded, teachers that are underpaid, students that are uninspired, buildings that are underkept. People are tired of that. They're sick and tired of an economy that's doing very well for some. If you're a corporate CEO, you probably make in a day what most folks make in a year. But just to make it worse, since you're all getting, since you as the CEO are getting your money from capital gains and dividends, and maybe you're a hedge fund manager, you're only paying 15% on all those millions of dollars that you're making. Except your receptionist, she's got to pay 38% taxes on what she makes. So the person who's working each and every day, she's got to pay big taxes. But Paris Hilton, who inherited her money, she's only paying 15%. Folks are tired of that. Most of all, people are tired of seeing $275 million a day spent on a war that should have never been authorized, a war that should have never been waged, a war that has cost us billions of dollars and thousands of lives and has not made us safe. As I'm traveling around the country, I meet mothers every day. They grab me. They say, my son isn't coming home. He went to Baghdad, he's not coming back. My daughter, she went there, she's not coming back. My child is coming back, a double amputee. His life is never going to be the same.
Well,
the costs of this war are unimaginable. And it amuses me lately how some folks in Washington have been talking about, well, we're not sure Obama's got enough experience in foreign policy. And I have to be amused when I think about the fact that these same folks who talk about a lack of experience are the same folks who joined up with George Bush and said this was a good idea, that somehow we were going to be made safer, that we were going to be greeted as liberators, and we were going to create democracy in Iraq. Who's inexperienced? You know, there's that old story. Listen, no fool like an old fool. Well. But Dick Cheney and Donald Rumsfeld had a lot of experience. They had a great resume. And you know what? It's not how much experience you got, it's whether you learn from your experience. Apparently those folks